I think one thing to mention at this point is the most important thing in the world to Kubo is drawing cool shit. It's what he initially became famous for, and you can see him mention this over and over in interviews, as well as being pretty much the entire focus of his previous manga, Zombie Powder. He likes drawing awesome things, and story for him is merely a way to link these awesome things, not something to convey a message or make a statement, which was exactly...
But all those people talking about the messages and the underlying themes, and
he brought up the messages and the themes.
But what about?
So are you telling me that Kubo did not intend for these to be in there, and it just wanted cool stuff, and you guys are interpreting it in whatever way you want?
No,
that's what it sounded like.
Not the case in the Soul Society arc with its subtext of burgeoning adulthood.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not the case here though.
No. Kubo wanted to do these things. He wants cool stuff. That's all he wants is cool stuff. Except here with the subtext of all this stuff. But then he goes back to just the cool stuff, but it's not as cool anymore. Or is it just something cool he was doing?
And you were just going the subtext of adulthood.
What the
with its subtext of burgeoning adulthood, which is arguably one of the main reasons why the arc is so fondly remembered.
No! Really? What about all the fun?
The subtext of adulthood is the reason why this arc is popular.
One of the main reasons. Is that what he said?
Goodness.
Hold on.
Text of burgeoning adulthood, which is arguably one of the main reasons why the arc is so fondly remembered.
It cannot be argued. Absolutely not.
Yeah, it can't be argued. It's 100% a fact. He said it. Don't you remember? I remember going into it just going like, yeah, adulthood.
But what about when they have a 2-year time skip and they're all getting jobs and stuff and becoming adults?
What about it?
Isn't that more burgeoning adulthood than
what do you mean?
A bunch of kids?
You gotta explain.
Playing dodgeball.
What are you talking about? What?
And
but here they're going into a strange place that they don't know about, just like adulthood. It's there. It's there. Look. He intended it here. Not in his whole previous manga.
Nor any other part of this manga.
But just here. Okay.
However, the cracks begin to show in the third major story arc of Bleach, the Hueco Mundo invasion arc, in which Ichigo and his friends must enter a world they don't understand, face down an ancient and patriarchal society.
No, it's not ancient or patriarchal. They have no patriarchy because they were just formed. There is no true ruler or king except Aizen, who's super strong. He just came up and went, follow me, and they went, okay. There's no real society there. Yeah, there's so this is just a falsity. There's no history there. There is a bunch of kill or be killed.
It's just the strongest person is ruling.
No! There was no ruler before Aizen.
Yeah, it was. It was the gas dude. And then,
the king?
Yeah.
I don't think he was a ruler.
I think he was.
I think he was just super strong.
I'm pretty sure he was a ruler.
What was it? King of Hollows.
I guess you could look up number 2.
Before becoming number was okay, you're right. Undisputed King of Hollow and original ruler. Wait, when did he start ruling?
Yeah, that's the problem. Who did he take it from, and who did he beget, and who started the rule? And what does he rule over? What does he do as the king? It's just a bunch of desolate wastelands and a bunch of
people
dying
and killing, yeah.
You just go, hey, Hollow, stop that. They're not going to listen to you, so you kill them. And that could be done. Every time I see this shot, my eyes always go straight to Coyote Stark, and I hate him. So it's such a nothing design. He looks unfinished.
There's nothing there.
Give him some goggles or something.
We don't know who the first king was.
Yeah, so no.
Or if he was the first king, and how long he's been the king.
It doesn't matter. He was the king, and now he's not. And Hueco Mundo is just a land where people fight, and that is the rule. You are the strongest, and you are the king. That's all that matters. We don't need to know.
But
the first
Holly
game or
Bell was
anything.
voted. They asked her to become the ruler.
Because she was the strongest at that point.
I don't know if she was.
She had to
Because
be.
Nell was still there.
Then we're not counting her.
Why not?
We're not counting her. Because we're not.
So
In within this group, Coyote Stark was thankfully dismissed and dismembered and dead, as was the king, as was Aizen. So she was number 3. Or was she number 2? She was number 3. So she was number 3. So obviously,
but they asked.
hey, do you want to do it? And if she didn't have to. It would have went to number 4. Or whoever would be perceived as number 4. We don't get to see it, so it doesn't matter.
What happened to Yami?
The big dude?
Yeah.
I think it was just killed.
Okay.
I know he fought Byakuya and Kenpachi, but I think it was just killed.
Okay.
Yeah, because he was the secret strongest person, you see.
The tier 0. That's what I was like, what happened with him?
Didn't really amount to much of anything.
No, it amounted to nothing.
To rescue their friend. Sound familiar? Yeah.
Yeah, you're saying that like it's a problem. What are the arcs of Dragon Ball?
Thing comes, evil, fight thing.
Protect
Win.
Earth.
Raditz comes to Earth, wants to destroy it.
Protect.
Vegeta comes to Earth, wants to destroy it.
Protect.
They go over to Namek.
Wants to destroy it.
Protect.
Once the Dragon Ball is to rule over the entire universe. Protect.
Androids.
Protect.
No. Did Jiro want to destroy the world, or was it just a Goku thing?
It was a Goku thing. But
Okay.
Cell wants to destroy the world. Protect. Boo. Protect. And One Piece is very formulaic.
Beerus protect.
Yeah.
Frieza protect.
Moro protect. One Piece is formulaic.
Hop on the island, evil dictator, beat evil dictator, party, peace out.
What's the problem? The problem is if it's good or not. I don't
Yeah.
care how formulaic your thing is.
I literally don't care.
I don't care about quote unquote repetitive. Just be good.
I watch a bunch of Slice of Life, and that's mad repetitive. But yeah, it does start to just feel like, come on now, dude. Again? I can understand the initial again and the lingering again, because it was just a rescue quest and blah, blah, blah. I can understand that. But at the end of the day, it's just like, what are you doing with it?
Where the criticism that Kubo repeats his ideas a lot is not a new or especially original one, but I do think in repeating the plot wholesale like this, you lose the subtext that made the storyline so worthwhile.
No, it's the same subtext. It's just repeated. Mm-hmm. So what's the difference? The problem was it's now no longer new. But the subtext is still there. Because you said it's the exact same thing. So what did it lose? How did it lose the subtext?
Time around. And it's not like the Hueco Mundo arc doesn't have cool moments, or that it's not enjoyable enough in places, but it represents a startling unwillingness for Kubo to take risks, which is odd because from the first to second...
No, because the very next arc was a big risk and it big sucked.
Yeah, it was a really big risk.
major arc...
changed the whole power system for Ichigo and people around him, including Orihime and Chad.
And it sucked.
Yeah, it was a big risk. And it sucked. Doesn't matter. It was a risk. Mm-hmm. So we're debunking that part of the statement where you're like, he's scared to take risks. We're not talking about the quality. We're just talking about what it is right now.
Mm-hmm. I just don't think he had a lot of ideas.
Yeah, I also believe that. Like you said, he just wanted to draw cool stuff. And he just goes, how do I draw the next cool stuff? There's a shadowy organization. It's like Fairy Tail, where almost every single arc there is another group of assassins who are the baddest mother you done ever seen. They're the strongest group of assassins.
Grimoire Heart.
In the Tower arc where not Guildarts, Jalal. Ugh. Where Jalal was just like, all right, here comes these assassins. And it was the hair dude and the sword chick. And it's like, oh, here comes these bad mother. And then once you go into the tournament arc, they go underground and it's just like, oh, here comes these bad mother. And you got to fight this dude that's just like, I can control all of lava and ice and stuff. And every single arc, there's a group of the baddest mother you done ever seen. Oh, I hate it so much.
From the first to second major arc in Bleach, you went from monster hunting to superpowered samurai battles. It was a shift in tone and it made the series what it was. But now, instead of that same kind of evolution,
there's no shift in tone needed. What's the shift of tone in Dragon Ball? Yeah. Who gives about a shift in tone? That's not the reason it was good. It just so happened that Soul Society was a really good arc. Yeah. Regardless of subtext, regardless of tone, regardless of theme. It is a good arc. Hueco Mundo is okay-ish. That's it. And then the rest is just... But again, I'll say Full Bring worse than 1,000 Year.
A lot of the ideas just feel heavily recycled. Character archetypes are repeated. Ichigo must again...
One.
Crazy Doctor. But that was also kind of like a parallel thing that was done.
DBZ Imran.
Yeah, boy. Pichu.
Opponents of escalating power.
What? I'm sorry, what? The main character fights a character and then has to fight a stronger character? Yes? Duh?
Yeah. And it's done again.
It's the power, it's escalation. That's all it is.
It's done again.
Again, Dragon Ball. You go from the Ginyu Force to Frieza. You go from Dodoria and Zarbon, a bunch of whatevers, to the Ginyu Force to Frieza. Escalating power.
Yeah.
Every arc. Everything. What are you talking about?
This is also like DBZ Ram where he was just like, hey, Luffy fights two people and whatever.
Friends again all split off and fight their own one-on-one fights.
Yeah, okay. What? But the reasoning, so the reasoning is different. In the first one, they were split by force because they just kind of jumped into the thing and they couldn't hold on to each other and everybody went in a separate way. This one was, we don't have a lot of time and there's like 5 different paths, so it makes a lot of sense to each of us take a different path. Everybody come back alive. Let's go.
The points where mascot characters transform into ultra powerful, ultra sexy women. I could go on, but you get
mascot character now?
I guess if you look at it like small and cute, if that's all you need.
But Yoruichi,
I was about to say Yoruichi. She was just a cat. Not a mascot character. If anything, you look at Korn as the mascot character.
The idea.
And that was a very big stretch. No.
This is a question. Did Rand take this? Because remember, those were the exact same subtitles he couldn't get out.
Potentially. I think he might have. But then again, if you look at his video, it's a lot of stuff taken as AMVs and like manga MVs.
Similar things happen in the Fullbringer arc and the final Quincy arc. Throughout its close to 700 chapters,
thanks for explaining.
It's just very little to change up its
We just see
core
similar things.
Yep. Fullbring is not nowhere near the same, bro.
Yeah, no.
And there's no rescue arc in 1,000 Year Blood War. What are you talking about?
And there's no strange, mysterious world in the Fullbring arc.
template. And one thing I've noticed about the most popular semi-contemporary shonen manga is that they always...
Semi-contemporary? The ones that kinda are out at the same time?
About the most popular semi-contemporary shonen manga is that they always try new arc structures.
No! One Piece is the most popular of all time, and that arc structure is very formulaic.
Yep.
I mean, Slam Dunk and ISHO 21 are the two most popular sports manga of all time, and each one is play a game.
I mean, Ippo literally had, 19 title defenses? And that was just 19 dudes walking up going, I want that belt. That's all it was. And you got other stuff where you're just like, I'm going to insult the coach and everything. But it was, for the most part, I got a way to break the Dempsey roll. I got to better the Dempsey roll, or I got to break the. It was.
I just gotta punch harder.
Oh, Epo.
It's literally just I gotta punch harder.
But yeah, that's mad formulaic.
Yeah, Shonen by its very nature is mostly formulaic. It's mostly a lot of the same things happening with a new fresh coat of paint. It's just like video games. Like, it is what it is.
You need a way to introduce a villain or an antagonist fight, and there's very few ways to do that.
That are quote-unquote new.
Yeah, or unique.
Like, take for example how Yu Yu Hakusho goes from a martial arts tournament to straight up gang warfare.
What? So, that's not the structure of the arc. What is the thing? Come and play in this tournament or I kill everybody. What was the one before? I am literally trying to kill Keiko. Try to stop me. What was the one after? Kuwabara, come and stop me. And then you went from get these items back to stop these people to tournament arc to stop these people to tournament arc. What are you talking about, Wolf? Which even get these items back would stop these people.
Yep. Stop these people from get these items.
So stop these people tournament. Stop these people tournament. Whoops, my bad. Stop these people tournament. Stop these people tournament. Whoops, my bad. I'm wrong again. Stop these people tournament. Stop these people tournament. Stop these people tournament.
It was another tournament.
The Genkai arc.
Goodness.
What are you talking about, Wolf?
And the tournament arc, the Toguro arc was also a very big stop these people within the arc. You know.
It was to stop these people inside the tournament.
So whoops.
Went from Ninja Mission Gone Wrong to Written Exam to Game of Death.
No.
It was a tournament arc.
It was a tournament arc. It went from mission to tournament arc to mission to mission to mission to mission. What are you talking about?
He's blanketing these in the way that makes it look better for him, instead of like blanketing it in the same way that he did for the Soul Society to Hueco Mundo.
And then the other two are the rest the same too.
Or even One Piece, which went from Haunted Ship to...
This is bullshit.
He picks the very unique going from here to here ones. This is very smart of him to do this in this way, instead of just going from Alabasta to not Enies Lobby to Skypiea, which is basically the same thing. This is very smart of him to do, because if you've never seen One Piece, you go, yeah, those are different.
But he literally skipped the arc.
Yeah, he did. That could have furthered his point, which is like, it's a fun amusement park island. That would have made his point better.
Because then, he skipped 2 arcs. Because Amazon Lily. You literally skipped 2 arcs.
That's fine. But yeah, this is him being as disingenuous as possible
While still being technically correct.
Yes. And that's really all that matters. He is technically correct.
He is technically correct in that Marineford is not the same as Thriller Bark. But Enies Lobby and Marineford are the same.
Prison Escape to All Out War. Constantly restructuring arcs like this lets us...
Okay, but what about all the rest for One Piece?
Where it's just rescue this island from tyranny.
We are big One Piece fans. We are never gonna go One Piece is unique in this way because it's simply a falsity. It's a very, very good series.
Yeah, it's all about what he does with it. And what he does is fantastic. The people love Doflamingo and Dressrosa. The people fear Eneru and Skypiea, but they're both tyrannical dictators of the island. But it's just all about, and now we have to free them from this island. No, it's the same thing, but it's what he's doing is different within it.
The people love Crocodile, but he's underground trying to take over the whole place so he can resurrect this weapon so he can defeat Whitebeard. Structurally, these are all very similar, but they do different things and they're good.
See characters in new ways, and thus get to
Wait, what about the characters in new ways?
restructuring arcs like this lets us see characters in new ways.
What was the difference between Higa and the Dark Tournament in this arc? Or the Four Saint Beasts in the Dark Tournament?
What's the difference between Usopp and Skype and Alabasta? What's the difference between Luffy and Thriller Bark and Marineford? He used those examples.
And thus get to know new sides of them,
What were the new sides we got at Hiei?
while also giving the series an air of unpredictability and danger.
Bleach is still unpredictable and very dangerous despite the similar story structures. This is not a point, Wolf.
Yeah.
Bleach's unwillingness to break routine meant that by the end of the final fight with Aizen, many readers just felt like they had already gotten all they could from Bleach.
Oh, did you take a poll of the people? Or are you in everybody's head? Are you doing surveys? What are you doing? Why are you speaking for people?
Term story problems don't stop there. The world of Bleach feels kind of, well, hollow, no pun intended. And what's interesting
But you
here...
said earlier that it was relatable because it's in Japan and everything.
But this is a problem of Bleach as a whole as opposed to this is why it's fallen.
Yeah, it was always hollow. You got bits and pieces of ideas here.
And bits and pieces of world building, but there's no actual world.
Yeah, and nothing to follow through.
This is also reflected in the artwork.
Why are you showing the exact same panel?
one? Because it's very disingenuous. Because he has to.
Show a new one. Probably can't though, huh?
There was a couple panels where when Yuhabot got his dumb eye form where it was just sort of like dripping off of him. I was like, yeah, it looks pretty good.
Oh, we can't have that then.
I guess you're right.
Over time, Kubo just stopped drawing backgrounds unless it was
Bruh, you showed the exact same two panels. That's not fair. And then you also, when you showed the art earlier, it looked very much like this.
Couldn't be bothered.
absolutely 100% critical. It doesn't seem like he's giving any express thought to the actual worlds these characters live in. And this really starts to become apparent during the Hueco Mundo arc. The whole thing just feels dead and empty, and
Because it's a dead and empty world! That's the point of the whole motherfucking world!
Sir, that's really bad.
Dude,
What are they supposed to have? Sandwich shops in there? What are you doing, dude?
come on down to the amusement park.
Wait, dude. Honestly,
I don't.
that's kind of the point. But
okay.
Oh, okay. Whoops. But I heard a but though.
Of course, the bus.
We're still saying we're still right. We're still betting 1,000%.
We're never wrong.
We're never wrong, everybody. Don't worry about the comments where I say yes, you are correct, and we were wrong. We're always right.
empty, and yeah, I get that that's kind of the point, but it just doesn't feel like a place that anyone would really live in.
Yeah, what live there are hollows and monsters.
Yes.
Not people.
You're not gonna see skyscrapers.
You're not gonna see a kid just walking down the street with a balloon.
Before Grimjaw got his human hollow form, he was just a jaguar. That's what's populating this place.
That's what's here.
It feels much more like an empty level in a video game, and I actually found it really affected my ability to believe the Arankar as characters.
Why? They're all sad and angry people because they live in a world of nothing. That has bred them to be sad and angry and just kill each other. What do you mean?
I think he means just like, what does Coyote Stark do when he's not doing hollow stuff?
Nothing. There's nothing to do but kill. It's a world of killing.
I still think Harry Bell is cool as shit.
Oh, you know why? Because the anime fleshed her out.
Even without it, I like her.
I love
archetype.
her mask.
Yeah, her mask is great, but I like her archetype of just like I'm a silent, just get stuff done woman, and I'm gonna get stuff done. No nonsense.
Not a fan of the boob window.
Of course not. It was also very toned down for the anime.
Yeah,
but,
it was a monster in the manga.
But you know, that's Kubo. That's Oda. Oda has his moments as well.
Dude, I have found that I really don't like Fairy Tail because it's so sleazy.
Yeah. Yes.
And you know, it was always sleazy in the anime, but in the manga, some of the shots, I'm just like, this is just it's borderline gross. There are just shots of just women completely bent over, draw, showing. I'm like, what are you doing?
Now compare this dead and empty world to the exciting and ever-changing worlds of Hunter x.
Ooh, exciting and ever changing.
We were never a fan. We didn't know anything about Hunter x Hunter back then. What does he say about it?
I wonder.
Exciting and ever-changing worlds of Hunter x Hunter, Berserk, or especially One Piece.
Okay.
Exciting and ever changing. Tournament arc.
Okay, Hunter Exam, which is a tournament arc.
Rescue Killua, which is just a mansion and some woods.
Nothing in the world changed.
York New was next. I feel like there was something in
The tower.
The tower.
Which is a tournament.
And it's also just a building.
Nothing changed in the world. For York New. Nothing changed in the world. They're still gonna do underground auctions and stuff.
Just a city.
5 was Greed Island.
I'll give them that.
Yeah, Greed Island changed a bunch of stuff. It didn't change anything in the world, but it changed its world. And then after that is Chimera Ant. Nothing changed except the main dude being dead and somebody else was appointed. Did like the economic structure change or something? Did like here's what he probably means by ever changing world. While we're looking at our heroes, something else is going on somewhere else. As opposed to something like Dragon Ball, where nothing happens outside of Goku and friends.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I can't say that too much for Chimera Ant because we don't learn too much about what else is going on. Yeah. Greed Island is an example of that, where there's this whole island that people just don't know about. That's understandable. But York New, people know about that. Yeah, okay, so the auctions are still going to go on. He's correct in that. You know what? He's correct in Hunter x Hunter. The world's always... It's not always changing, but things are always happening outside of Gon and Killua.
Except for the ones that we don't know, where it's just like, hey, here comes Leorio. He's been gone for 2 arcs.
Yeah, we don't know what he's doing.
Hey, I'm back.
We don't know what he's done. We don't know what he's doing after.
Yeah, we don't know what Hisoka was doing during Chimera Ant arc, and he was just like, yeah, I just wasn't a part of that.
Piece. I think one of the reasons One Piece has remained so evergreen is just how fully established its world is. It's densely layered and is constantly evolving, with ever-changing...
Okay, stop with the evolving thing.
So.
A lot of stuff... yeah, whatever.
Politics and shifting alliances, and it's one that makes Bleach settings seem positively 2D by comparison.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Yeah, it is 100% not fair.
That's like saying you can say the same for almost any manga in comparison to One Piece.
You say the same for Yu.
It's simply just not a fair comparison. Yeah, Bleach is the most direct comparison is probably Yu. More so than something like One Piece. One Piece isn't fair.
I'd say maybe DBZ. Outside of if you look outside of not we're not talking about the universe or the galaxy or whatever. There's a bunch of different realms that are like technically just right over there, but you got to get to it.
But they don't really visit those realms too much. And something like you got, there's a lot of stuff happening in the human world. Then there's stuff happening in the demon world they got to go to.
Yeah. Nope. You're right.
2D by comparison. The final and possibly most damning aspect of Bleach's story, however, is in how Kubo writes characters. Whenever a character is introduced, Kubo has a talent for giving the reader a very strong sense of who they are and making them immediately interesting and likable. But again, it's only in the long term that this starts to become a problem.
Okay, so what you're saying is he gives them a trait and then you connect to trait.
The reason being that as the story goes on, we get very little in the way of reinforcing that character or developing them further.
Reinforcing?
What do you mean? Wait a second. Wait. That's bad to show Grimjaw where we've got a lot of his stuff.
And he's constantly reinforcing what he wants and who he is.
We got a full backstory on him and everything.
He was developed like a mother.
You should have shown like half of the Hueco Mundo around
almost
group.
Anybody else. Almost anybody else. Show Coyote Stark what he doing.
Show Coyote Stark.
Mostly what we get instead are just kind of sad anime flashbacks. I might talk...
Is that a problem?
Yeah.
One Piece is predicated on sad anime flashbacks. They're awesome. Who
future, but sad flashbacks are not a replacement to actually developing and sustaining a character.
No, it shows you more insight into who they are at this present. Why they are the way they are. Why they're doing the things they're doing.
By the end of Bleach, a lot of characters were very similar to how they were when they were first introduced.
Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And some have even gotten far less interesting. No better example of this than main character Ichigo Kurosaki. Ichigo starts out as a Yusuke Urameshi style badass who kicks people in the face and makes friends with ghosts. But by the end of the Hueco Mundo arc, he's a shell of what he was. A boring, somber figure whose only real motivation is that he wants to fight to protect his friends.
What about the arc directly preceding it, where he's just telling everybody that he's fine and trying to do everything, but he's actually struggling with his powerlessness and not being able to protect anybody, so he fakely smiles and acts like everything is fine.
Actively.
This in itself is a serious problem because it creates a cycle with Ichigo where he is constantly reacting to things happening to him.
Oh my god.
Ooga.
You just said active too. That's so funny.
Boy.
I do not care.
Yeah. Make it interesting.
Make it interesting.
Whatever you do, just make it interesting. Comey Can't Communicate is 200 chapters of nothing happening. It is so interesting. Do whatever you have to do, just make it interesting. That's all it is.
For actually being proactive in his own life. Now compare that with Naruto or Luffy.
Okay, proactive in his own life. What do you mean, sir?
He's not gonna explain it.
No, he's definitely gonna say something about Naruto. He's probably gonna say Naruto wants to become Hokage and he's acting.
I mean, in terms of Ichigo, he's not gonna explain it because you understand what he means. And I think this is where the goals come in.
Personally,
actively pursuing a goal.
With Naruto or Luffy, whatever you think of them personally, they both have their own goals and ambitions.
Luffy does not care about One Piece.
Luffy.
He does not care if it exists. He wants to be free.
It's the adventure. It's getting there.
Does One Piece exist? Does it not exist? It's so exciting. His exact words.
I don't want to go on a boring adventure. I don't want to know if it exists.
If he tells
just
us,
knowing it becomes a boring adventure, and I'm not about that.
If he tells us, I quit being a pirate. What do you mean? Naruto doesn't even know what Hokage means. He doesn't know what they do. He just knows it's the person that the villain acknowledges the most and looks up to. And that's what he wants because nobody looked his way with anything but scorn through almost all of his life. What are you talking about, Wolf?
I like how you set both of them against the cloudy sky. That's good framing.
Naruto wants to become Hokage, Luffy wants to find One Piece. They are self-motivated and thus...
Okay, and Ichigo wants to protect his friends. What do you mean? And Luffy doesn't want to find at One Piece. He wants to find if One Piece is real or not. He don't care either way.
He just wants the adventure. He just wants to have fun.
Journey is self-perpetuating, thus they are better suited to a long-form story.
This is just bush. Nobody gives a sh. ISHO 21 is a very good manga. For the most part, Senna just goes, I'm being forced to play football games, otherwise this guy will kill me. So let me play football games. Oh, football is really fun. I want to win. I want their goal.
Ippo is just fight. He wants to figure out what strength is, and that's very abstract.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like it's not a goal that it's a more internalized goal. It's just like, what does it mean to me? Because he's asked people like, what is strength? What does it mean to be strong? And he's trying to figure that out. But yeah, for the most part, it's just
Conan is one of the most
chilling.
popular series out there.
Why? It's boring words.
There's so many words, but I love Conan. It's so much canon filler, but I love Conan. The goal is essentially shut down the organization Black. It's nothing. And solve crimes along the way.
And without a goal, are you saying that Gon is less interesting because he found his dad? Is it just like, all right, get him out the story, he's no longer useful, or
they did get him off the story?
Yeah, they did.
He's no
Get
longer
him
useful.
out of here.
Get him out of here. But the main character of Slam Dunk, he doesn't want to win basketball games. He doesn't really care. He wants people to recognize that he's a genius. That's it. But he sucks. I love him.
What did Hinata want in Haikyuu? He was just chilling.
He just loved volleyball.
There you go. And that's mad popular.
But Ichigo,
For some reason.
well, what does he want?
Stinks.
Once the supernatural entities stop interfering with his life, what will he do?
We saw what he would do. He was really sad because he didn't have the power because he realized he actually liked fighting and protecting people.
And he also was helping people.
Feeling he enjoys the supernatural battles, nor does he disdain them.
He does enjoy them because he got real sad when he couldn't do them anymore.
So what is it? What are his goals? What are his dreams?
Protect friends.
Is he? The fact that I've read hundreds of chapters of Bleach and cannot answer these questions poses a major issue with.
I don't care about goals. I'm sure Natsu finds Ignil at some point. And
What do you mean? You read it? Did you read up until the end of the? Well, it wasn't Avatar. It was whatever that arc was. The people, the things. Oh, what was that?
there are
arc
so many
called?
people. There are so
What
many.
was
things.
that arc called? Because it wasn't Avatar. My mind always goes back to Avatar because that was the beginning of the time skip.
I went after the time skip. The last thing I ever watched was the tournament.
What? Really?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't watch after that?
That was the last
Oh,
thing
you
I
didn't
needed
watch
to.
that arc afterwards.
No,
really?
and you told me keep going, keep finish it, and I went,
I thought you did though.
Nope. Last thing I saw was the tournament
Oh
arc.
man, you gotta. Yeah, so you didn't see.
Nope.
Oh, you didn't get to the really bad
Yeah.
stuff. Then.
That's why you were like, keep going, because it gets really, really bad.
That is just a great arc, and it stinks. Oh no, you didn't get there, huh?
Nope. Last thing I read
Wow.
was the tournament.
Wow, you know what? I can see why you were just like, I can't do it.
And you just kept begging me, finish it. It gets so bad. We can talk about it. And I went, I will someday. And now I'm just reading it from the very beginning. So yeah, I'm sure Natsu finds Ignil at some point, and I'm sure he doesn't become any more or less interesting because his goal is no longer Ignil.
Oh, it's so stupid.
I just don't like Natsu. He's just not very good.
Oh, I forgot to look what that thing was called. Can you please tell me the arc name, please? Avatar arc, thank you. And that came after Tartaros. No, not Tartaros. Was it Tartaros?
Tartarus is Persona 3.
It can be other things.
I don't think so.
Yes, it was. It was Tartarus. Oh my goodness. Wait until you meet this varied cast of characters of just another 7 dudes.
That are the baddest mother.
Oh, dude, there's a group that is the baddest mother you've never seen. Oh man, I forgot how. Oh, these dudes suck. Oh man, they're so bad that only like 2 of them had models in the Fairy Tail game.
Are you serious?
No, the Fairy Tail game was made. Dude, they had to have just passed a cup around the office, just like, what y'all got in your pockets? And that's the budget. It is nothing.
We just need to recoup our costs. 5 games, guys. Just 5 games.
We just need to sell 5 copies.
Now, I can already hear angry fingers slamming against keyboards, but the reason I bring these points up is not to shit on Bleach or its fans.
But you have been.
You didn't on the fans because you didn't went, you stupid bastards really like this series. You dumb. This is terrible. What are y'all doing? You just went, Bleach not good.
It declined.
Fans, whatever.
I will throw feces at the Fairy Tail fans.
Really?
Because it's just like, why? What? It's doing more than something like Dragon Ball, but more does
Not
not
much
equal
more.
better. It's spinning its wheel uphill on an icy mountain, and it's just going nowhere. As opposed to just Dragon Ball, it's just a leisurely stroll down the country.
Hey, there's some cows.
Yep.
That's what Dragon Ball is.
Whereas Fairy
You're just
Tail is
waiting
just
for
like,
your next cow.
Here we go. We're going to do this.
Look at the energy they're putting into it, though.
Frankly, I think you guys have been through enough already. As I've already mentioned, the goal here is to account for its loss in popularity, not my personal opinion.
Did he take an AMV too?
Yeah, this might be an intro. This looks
You
like
know
an
what?
intro.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
As I've already mentioned, the goal here is to account for its loss in popularity, not my personal opinion on Bleach.
No, that's an AMV.
This looks like an intro.
That hit
The goal
part.
here is to account for its loss in popularity, not my personal opinion.
No, but
on
this is
Bleach.
it's very.
So with that in mind, let's
You
see
know
if
what,
we
you
can
might be
return to
right.
our
Yeah,
timeline and tie this all together.
You know what's sad? We watched all the Bleach intros.
There's a stretch of just like these are just songs.
During the later 2000s, Bleach is riding high off the success of the Soul Society arc and the introduction of popular new characters like Grimmjow and Ulquiera, who admittedly are pretty fucking awesome. But we start to see the repetition of the story kick in, and it's
No, the repetition was already there past their introduction. So what's the point?
dip in 2009. 2010 sees us back up to number 3 as the Aizen arc draws to a close. But the problem then becomes that once we remove Bleach's major villain, whose arc began when the series was at its most popular, the lack of real character development
No, they have no other villain to attach to. That's why he should have waited until Aizen. Because this is the
Aizen
villain
should have
from
been the final boss.
not the first boss, essentially the first boss.
and templated nature of the arcs meant that there just wasn't really a whole lot to keep the casual manga reader interested in.
No, because Fullbring is so much different than the other 2 arcs. It just sucks.
And again, he's just implanting all these things into the reader's mind like he knows what's going on.
Or into the past readers themselves of why they voted for such and such as such and such.
And so we see Bleach dive 4 whole places.
So, you mean to tell me that through almost 400 chapters, Bleach was still roughly number 3? That's a good run!
Yeah.
Further decline from the unpopular Fullbringer arc as well.
Wait.
Further decline from the unpopular Fullbringer arc as well as the cancellation of the anime.
Okay. What was this first dip? Because that dip down there is Fullbring.
Yeah.
So, what happened end of Aizen to Fullbring?
Because the Fullbring sure wasn't 2 years long.
It was 8 year long. It was roughly 50 chapters. So, could it be that that's near the end of Aizen, actually?
I don't care enough to look up.
Same.
Brings us right up to 2013, and at this point I would guess that Kubo, sick of publishers and fan backlash...
No, why didn't you explain why there was an uptick? You explained why there was a down, but why not an up?
He stops giving the series his all, and we start to see the real decline in the artwork, which would have alienated all.
My goodness.
No, it's he was injured / not feeling well throughout most of this, and it's roughly okay. There are some real bad parts, absolutely.
But if it's just an art thing, you gotta look at Togashi's stuff where some of them are just stick figures. And people are still eating this crap up. Why are they forgiven? Why is he forgiven? But Kubo's still doing...
Talk to anybody about the art of One Piece. It's the most popular manga.
Most hardcore Bleach fans. This takes us right to 2015, where Bleach sits near the very bottom of the Shonen Jump rankings, leading to that...
Okay, so there's something under 13? So how many were running at that time, and what number was Bleach actually?
It's easier just to say 13.
Why?
It's easy. It's a good, strong number.
Oh, okay. I guess so.
Sudden and devastating cancellation, and the brutally short final 3-chapter run. It's hard to say if the fault lies with Kubo himself or with the Shonen Jump editorial staff, but either way, I think it's really sad what happened here. And I say that as someone who's openly criticized Bleach in the past.
It happened with Kubo. He didn't have many ideas.
Yeah.
And if you're writing a long form manga, you need ideas. You know, he had a lot of ideas, but he didn't know how to string them together. Because, as you said, he just cared about the kush. Plot was secondary. So, if you're looking at something like, how do I get to this kush? They do this and this and this, and now they're here.
Whatever your opinion of Tite Kubo and his work, I do feel that the series deserved a better end than this. And while I myself am a long since lapsed fan of Bleach, I still think back to those early chapters fondly.
It deserved a better ending than that because Orihime and Ichigo should not have been together.
Yeah, it was trash.
It should have been Ichigo Rukia. Ichiru forever.
And whether you're still a diehard, a lapsed fan like myself, or never had any interest in Bleach, I strongly encourage you to go back and check out some of the early material. It's hard not to read these pages and not remember what a massive amount of potential Kubo actually had. And in a way, it makes me think that maybe the end of Bleach is the best possible thing that would happen to Kubo. Whatever he tries his hand at next, I'll be there to check it out. Because at the end of the
More Bleach. Bleach supplementary.
Bleach spinoff.
day, he was and still is the author of what was at one time the third most prolific manga in the world.
Shoot the whoop. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, who cares? This is hard. This is really hard. Mm-hmm. I'm not feeling like a negative 10.
But it feels like it deserves it because of how nonsense it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to give it a 10. I'm going to give it a 9.5.
Yeah, that feels about right. I was actually leaning a little bit towards a 9. It was really bad because if we think about it, let's take everything that he said. What was the fall of Bleach? Declining artwork and Kubo not caring anymore because of editorial staff? Is that what it all came down to?
Repeated stories and characters not being good or something?
Yeah, I don't know what the fall of Bleach, how it happened.
I guess the entire package of all the negative stuff is what caused the decline.
People not caring anymore because of repetitive art style and arc structure and everything. I guess. There's a lot of faffing about. Yeah, I'm feeling like a 9. That feels about right. Oh, yeah. It's a weird one.
Hey, another one I'm higher than you, 9.5. Because he just straight up lied on One Piece and Yu Yu and Naruto to make it seem like it's better than Bleach. Like, no.
This is also very disingenuous with the art style and showing side by sides and just a lot of another one of those things where it's just like, I'm going to say this thing and not really elaborate on it and drop it and just move on because you know what I'm talking about.
One more video.